It was Indonesia's first time hosting the World Economic Forum East Asia, and it marked another boost to the international profile of a country that's a member of the G20 grouping and current chairman of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Asean. The forum's topic, the new globalism, and how to maximize opportunities in an increasingly interconnected and interdependent world, as well as to tackle the challenges such as environmental degradation and food and energy security.
In our time, globalism should be inclusive rather than exclusive. It should be pragmatic rather than dogmatic. It should unite rather than divide. It should be directed at addressing common global challenges rather than directed at certain groups of countries.
Asia is poised to provide much of the economic dynamism that will shape and propel this new globalism, and host Indonesia looks set to play a central role. Driven by domestic consumption, the country's economy continued to post solid growth during the global downturn, and currently has the third fastest GDP growth in the G20 at around 6.5% so far this year. It also rose 10 spots this year in the WEF's Global Competitiveness Rankings, the biggest jump of any G20 country.
Without a doubt, I believe that Indonesia is one of the most underrated economies in the world in terms of its opportunities and potential.
Multinational giant Unilever makes a wide variety of household, personal and food products at 8 factories in Indonesia. The attractions for manufacturers like Unilever are clear. A vast population of 240 million, nearly half of them under the age of 30. A middle class growing at a rate of 7 million a year. And natural resources close at hand.
We have consistently grown over the last decade or more at double digits, in fact strong double digits. So it's a fast-growing business. It's also a business that has grown competitively. In other words, we've not just grown, we've grown market share. And more importantly, it's also a very profitable business. So I think from that point of view, I would say it's pretty much a jewel business for our company.
Unilever is set to invest $350 million over the next 2 years to expand its production. The company sees stability and strong macroeconomic management as key attractions. Those factors, coupled with the government's efforts to make it easier to get investments approved, are clearly reaping benefits. The amount of realized foreign direct investment rose from $10.8 billion in 2009 to $16 billion last year, and is expected to top $18 billion in 2011. But it could be more, and needs to be more, if the country is to tackle the biggest complaint of investors, poor infrastructure.
We believe that if infrastructure development is accelerated, i.e. if we have more toll roads, more power plants, more modernization of harbors, then GDP growth can be raised to the full potential of 8 to 9%, roughly about the same level as China's.
That's the kind of growth Indonesia will need to meet its goal of becoming one of the world's 10 biggest economies by the year 2025, as outlined in a master plan for accelerated growth that the country's president unveiled earlier this month.
Economic community.
A key part of that plan is to foster public-private partnerships to boost infrastructure spending by around $150 billion over the next 5 years.
I think it can be achieved, and what we need to see is that we get a clear, transparent public-private partnership scheme going, because I don't think it's a difficulty to getting the finances. It's still a challenge, and we need more capacity building in getting the projects to market, to making real good, attractive investment proposals ready for the market, and then the money will come.
We are undertaking a number of institutional reforms, which I think will unleash significant value from an infrastructure development standpoint. I think the key one is the land reform, or the land acquisition law, which will provide certainty with respect to pricing and timing, and that will be very, very good for business people who want to undertake infrastructure development projects in Indonesia.
Indonesia recently inked its first major PPP for construction of a coal-fired power plant.
I'm quite sure that by delivering one or two, I think we'll be a much more credible nation. And that credibility, I think, will entail further trust in Indonesia's ability to undertake infrastructure development. When this thing gets going, I do believe we can get to the 8 to 9% zone.
To reach that growth target and create a diversified economy, Indonesia also needs to add more value to its abundant natural resources. Instead of exporting them to other countries, who then process them and sell them back to Indonesia as finished products,